Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. That's from a guy. He is 62 years old. He lives somewhere in the southern hemisphere. We can all speculate where. And he shares his story from like 15 years ago when his marriage ended. And he made the mistake of rushing into another relationship without actually working on himself, that type of thing. With a total train wreck. By a gal by the name of Jessica. Yes, another Jessica. And you're going to see this guy made all sorts of mistakes, especially just simply being with her when it was just red flag central from the beginning. And ultimately our guy will end the relationship and move on, but not before he deals with a whole lot of BS. And even if he had a chance to get away from her, he still took her back. And I'll be very going to go over here, guys, is an educational story to show you that aside from all the paying attention to red flags and getting out of there when the red flags are too much, well, you have to, guys, remember, if you're going to be a relationship guy, relationships come and go. It is how it is. You have to take time for yourself to heal when one ends, to work on yourself, take some time to be alone, figure out where things went wrong, things that you did wrong in one form or another, because both parties are always at fault, let's be honest here, one form or another, and things about her that you make sure you don't ever get involved with again. Because if you don't work on yourself and take the time and all that, the odds are you're just going to end up in a relationship very similar as the previous train wrecks and suffer and be miserable. But a lot of guys, they behave like women. They just have to be in a relationship. And guys also, I might add, you have to be able to be comfortable being alone. The biggest problem a lot of guys get into is they rush into relationships, which is a terrible idea for many reasons. I don't need to say why, and you know it. They can't be alone. You know, it's a joke if a guy can't be alone, at least for a while. So you're going to see all that in this story and the problems it brings into his life. And unfortunately, you're going to see that in the end, this guy seems to have learned his lessons, doing okay. He says, Dear SSM, I've been enjoying your videos since I discovered your channel about 12 months ago. I'm a 62-year-old male, call me Dave, and I live in an English-speaking country in the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, maybe Australia, New Zealand, maybe South Africa. My story is not as entertaining as some of the ones that I have watched on your channel. However, I want to share my story because when I look back, I made so many mistakes, it was shocking. I expect that I will get many smacks along the way. Sir, you're going to get so many smacks from me, you're going to need a goddamn calculator to add it all up. Honest to God. This story, guys, this guy is a glutton for punishment. But you know what? Ultimately, in the end, I believe he learned, but it takes a lot for him to understand. My story begins about 15 years ago when I was 47 years old. I just come out of a 9-year relationship and decided that it was a good idea to get into a new relationship straight away. Smack! Why? You can't be alone? I'm starting to suspect that about you. Guys, you can't just go from one relationship to another. You need time to heal. Because 9 years, you're obviously going to be some attachment issues there, unless she was, the Wicked Witch of the West or something like that, You need time to be on your own, figure out where you went wrong, heal, so you don't make the same mistakes again. And if you don't, you're likely going to keep doing the same wrong things in the next relationship, and, well, you'll see. Yes, I know, it was stupid. I met a woman, call her Jessica, through a dating app. Oh boy, another Jessica. She was the same age as me, 47 years old. We hit off and began dating, hiking, and having a good time. Jessica had a 17-year-old daughter. I had 4 children, all grown up and left home. Oh joy, a single MOM. How wonderful. Because they're so much fun. Yes, the daughter's 17 and probably out of the house soon, I suppose. That's better than having the child much younger, but still, you get the point. About 3 months after we met, I was at her house. I was sitting at the table and noticed that Jessica had left her purse on the table, with her driver's license next to it. I casually picked up her license and looked at the date of birth. Jessica was not 47 years old, she was 57 years old. Well, maybe there's a silver lining here. Maybe she took care of herself, so she looked like she was 47, but she's 57. But regardless, she's lying to you. Okay? Not cool. All right? That's a big deal to guys. I think the equivalent to that to making a woman furious would be if a guy was lying about how much money he made. But a girl lying about her age, which newsflash they do anyway. But 10 years, goodbye. I told her immediately that I did not want a girlfriend who was 10 years older than me. Well, who can blame you? I also pointed out that she flat out lied about her age. She said that if she had told the truth about her age, she would not have found a younger man. Well, if she was good looking for her age, which again I think if she's 57 but looks 47 and can pass for that, that's, she could have gotten younger guys that want to nail her, the cougar thing, but in terms of relationships, no. She said that I had not noticed that she was 10 years older, so there was no harm done. Bullshit. Okay, fine, Jessica. By the way, I don't make 200 grand a year. I make 50. How's that? Do you see me different now? Oh, I bet she would. She cried, of course, and told me that she was so sorry. So I agreed to let it go. Smack! What? She's lying to you about her age, okay? And you let this go, she's going to be thinking, oh, okay, this dumb motherfucker let this go. What else? I can lie about a lot of other things. And all I have to do is let out the waterworks, say I'm so sorry, and then, continue on bullshit. You already just told her that she can bullshit you and treat you like crap. Over the next year, we did have some good times. However, there were red flags. Dude, you had the red flags from the get-go, and you could, single MOM, lied about her age. I'm sure there's other shit going on. You could have gotten out of there. Looking back, all these red flags should have sent me running, but I ignored all of them. Yeah. Firstly, there was what she did for a living. She was a marriage counselor. Oh, how nice. It's her job to basically make everything out to be guys' fault. I had previously experienced with marriage counselors, all females. All of them blame me for any issues in the relationship. What'd I just tell you? And now she knows she can turn on the waterworks and cry and bullshit you. You're still coming back for more. Secondly, she disclosed that she had tricked the father of her daughter by telling him that she was on birth control so she could become pregnant. He was just a guy she met at a party and decided that he would make a suitable father. The guy was furious, and to his credit, he stayed in his daughter's life but hated Jessica permanently. Well, I'd hate the bitch too. So, okay, now you can add baby trapper to the list. These are reasons to get out of this, man. Unless, of course, you're a glutton for punishment. And this is why your previous marriage ended, obviously I'm guessing because you had 4 kids. That you spend time working on yourself and figure out where you went wrong so you don't go wrong again in the next relationship. But you didn't. And here you are making all these mistakes. Thirdly, the excessive drinking. I do not drink alcohol. She told me that she picked me because she wanted a sober boyfriend to compensate for her drinking. So she's an alcoholic or at the very least an excessive drinker. And you don't drink at all. This is not going to work. Okay? I rarely drink, guys. I like a beer on occasion or a margarita, and if I'm someplace at a shot of tequila or some red wine, but I usually keep it at 1 drink. That's it. I don't want a woman that drinks excessively. It would never fucking work. It's a turnoff. So she wants you to be her driver and to put up with her when she gets out of control. Stupid. And by the way, women that are usually people that are excessive drinkers also taking the calories from that alcohol, and if she's not a porker already, she will be. Fourthly, the anti-vaccination and anti-science views. She did not have her daughter immunized against measles and other childhood diseases because she believed in natural immunity and homeopathy. I have a strong science background and told her this was rubbish. More shit, and yet you're still with her. Smack! All these red flags should have sent me running, but they didn't. Instead, I decided to move in with her. Smack, smack, smack. Move in with her? You only move in with a woman unless you plan on marrying her, and this is after several years, at least 5, of getting to know her. You move in with her, that can open up a whole other can of worms. After I moved into her house, I realized what a mistake I had made. Shocker. 3 months in, and I was done. I broke it off with her and left. Oh, imagine that. What I always say that the final stage with a woman is move in with her. That will show you what she's really like. And 3 months later, he's gone. Now, before you all start rejoicing that our guy got rid of her, we're not done yet. A couple months later, I met a woman. I will call her Amelia. She was about 10 years younger than me. Are you sure about that? Did you check her driver's license? She was a non-drinker, a runner, and she had a black belt in karate. We hit it off, nothing serious, but we were having an enjoyable time together. Great. So you were still upper 40s. This chick's in the late 30s. She works out, she runs, she does karate, doesn't drink. This is more ideal. Around this time, I decided that I was going to travel around the world for 3 months. I've been working hard for 30 years, raised 4 kids, and need a break. I booked my trip and started planning. Cool. You should have done that after your breakup from the 9-year relationship before. A good trip, road trip, a long-term trip is good for soul-searching and figuring shit out. Then guess who showed up at my doorstep? I don't know, Jesus? Jessica. Someone had told her about me and Amelia, and she was furious. You're broken up. It's none of her fucking business. She demanded that we get back together again and give our relationship another chance. I should have told her to take a hike. Instead, I agreed to break things off with Amelia. Smack, smack, smack. I don't know what Amelia looks like. I don't know what her personality is, but Amelia sounds a whole lot better than her. And by the way, notice that he went from relationship to Jessica on to Amelia. This guy can't be alone. And I've realized at this point, this guy just likes drama. He's one of those guys. It's easy and smooth sailing with Amelia, but nope, he takes back Jessica. He knows a whole bunch of fucking problems. So do not feel bad for this guy or any other guy that gets themselves in shit when they keep making mistakes like this. Gee, do you all think that things are going to be better the second time around with Jessica? Take your bets, or place your bets. But I did not stop there. I invited her on the around the world trip. Smack! Oh, so that your peaceful enjoy the world trip is going to turn to a fucking nightmare. I would do the first 6 weeks alone, and she'd meet up with me the second 6 weeks. I even agreed to pay for her airfare and most of the expenses. Smack! She has a job. She has an income. Why are you paying for her? The good news is that the trip went well. In fact, it went so well that I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. Jesus H. Christ. Smack! Oh, of course she's on her best behavior because she's probably hoping for that. You can't marry her. When we returned home, we decided to look for a house to buy together. I decided that I wanted a house out of the city, but within commuting distance. She agreed. We bought a house about 50 kilometers from the city, and the house was near the beach and had a great view of the Pacific Ocean. I enjoyed cooking and decided to do renovations, including $50,000 on a new kitchen. Oh boy, now this house that you wanted so much is now her house. I was making more money than Jessica, so I agreed to cover all the mortgage payments, the property taxes, and most other household expenses. Smack! Why? She makes money. Her 17-year-old is probably out of the house by now. I mean, for her, she's a genius getting you. A sucker like you is putting up with her crap that she can lie to continuously, start drama, and pay for everything. I mean, she's the smart one in this story here so far. After we'd been in the house 6 months, the renovations were finished and I was happy. Not for long, but it was short-lived. One day out of the blue, Jessica told me that she was unhappy living in the new house. She wanted to sell the house and move back to the city. This was in 2012 and I was furious. I refused. Too bad. You brought all this shit on yourself. My life then became endless fights and misery. She accused me of being controlling. I agreed to attend weekly marriage counseling for months at a time, which I paid for. Smack! You're with the marriage counselor attending marriage counseling sessions, who no doubt she picked, and probably the woman put all the blame on you. Again, I don't feel bad. You are a glutton for punishment. What happened to old Amelia there, who did the karate and the running and no drinking and probably no drama, and 10 years younger than you? I'm sure Amelia sounds pretty good now, but you're attracted to drama. Clearly. At this time, I should have cut my losses and left. However, instead, I decided to go ahead with the wedding, and we got married in 2014. So you weren't even married yet. I thought you were married, and then you were putting up with this shit. You had an opportunity to get out of there, and you married her? Smack! Gee, how do you think that's going to go? Get better? I won't get into details over the 3 years that followed, but it involved frequent fighting about selling the house and moving back to the city. I kept refusing, and Jessica dragged me to weekly marriage counseling. Imagine that. You're making my blood boil, man. The Florida heat ain't gonna make my blood boil. These stories from these guys make my blood boil. Finally, in 2017, I told her we were done. So thank the Lord. We sold the house, got divorced, and I moved to a new city to start fresh. I've not seen or heard from Jessica since the day I left. Well, it's 2024. I would, you never know. I'm now happy, but it took me years to get over that experience. An experience that you brought on yourself, my friend. But maybe you had to go through all that shit to learn. The lesson is, do not ignore the red flags, and especially multiple red flags. Also follow your gut. Marriage counselors, especially female ones, will usually gaslight men. Everything is your fault. Thanks, SSM. Keep up the excellent work. Well, there's a few other lessons I want to point out, sir. Number one, I'm glad you're happy now, and I hope you've learned your lesson, hopefully. And I respect that you know darn well. You send in your story, which takes balls. Anybody that writes me who's acting like jackasses have balls. So I respect that. You know I'm going to react. But there's other lessons involved, aside from not ignoring red flags and following your gut and marriage counselors. How about the fact that you jump from one relationship, from the one that ended for 9 years, to Jessica, and then you jump from Jessica to Amelia, and then you jump from Amelia back to Jessica. I mean, bro, there's nothing wrong with being alone. You know, seriously, you need to really question why in God's name you can't be alone. You didn't mention if you're with another woman right now. I'm going to guess, given your track record, you probably did pretty quickly, which is a mistake. But then again, hopefully you learned. I don't know. Guys, if you're a relationship guy and your relationship ends, and they usually are never good, you need time to yourself to heal and then reflect on everything, where you went right, where you went wrong, all those things. Because otherwise, if you don't take that time, you're going to end up doing the same shit as before. I'm probably picking the same type of girl. Do you know who are masters of jumping from one relationship to the other so they don't have to work on themselves? Women. They're queens at doing that stuff. So don't do that. Another lesson is getting married again. You were married once, had 4 kids, that didn't work out. Why the hell did you get married again? Right? Seriously, what was the point? Also, jumping into a relationship too quickly. Moving in with her after not knowing her that long. Or how about just simply not with her long enough before you got married? Lots of lessons in this story, my man. And also guys out there that are attracted to drama and gluttons for punishment. You need to dig deep within yourself and find out what the hell was it that I was drawn to these women with all this turmoil and drama. That's what you need to do. So guys, you need to do that. And if you have a habit of getting involved with people that bring nothing but turmoil and problems to your life, you need some fucking help. Okay? And at the end of the day, guys, and I mean this, there's a point that in these stories that sure, the woman is an a-hole and does all these different things that are red flags and a problem, but you stop feeling bad for the guy when he repeatedly keeps, shooting himself in the foot and putting himself in situations that all the other times showed him was a bad idea. So I don't feel bad for past you. I'm glad you learned your lesson. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm hoping like hell you didn't rush into another relationship. But, oh my God, man. So anyhow, my calculator was effective today in adding up all the smacks, but God's sakes. So, bro, thank you for writing in. Took balls. I respect that. And you're going to help some guys out. Some guy will be helped out from this story, I guarantee. And a whole hell of a lot will be entertained when I publish this video later on when I do. So I wish you the best. Don't make the same mistakes you did, and you're going to be A-okay. And I hope things go well with your children. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Please comment. I'm dying to read the comments in this section. And also, guys, you got a story to share, email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will. And also, any other good stories you can find. A good article here and there, or maybe some crazy story you found I can use on the other channels. My other 2 channels are SSM Clips, and They Did What. And if you haven't subscribed to those 2 other channels, which are really growing, definitely do that, and it will help me out. And you'll probably find something you'll like on there. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.